10 minutes of English listening before sleeping. Living in the USA. Roberto Solano, age 24, from Mexico. Roberto came from Acapulco to New York 10 years ago. At first, he missed everything: the sunshine, the food, his girlfriend. But now, he has a successful business with his 3 brothers and his sister. They run a soccer store in the New Brunswick. Roberto's girlfriend is now his wife, and they have 2 children who go to American schools. They asked why he came to the US. Roberto says without hesitation, "Because I want to work hard and be successful." He certainly works hard. He's at the store all day, then works as a driver in the evening. "That's why I like America," he says. "You can be what you want." When I first came here, I didn't speak the language, and it was winter. It was so cold. There was snow. Now nearly all my family are here, not only in New York, but also in California and in Texas. We meet about once a month and have a huge Mexican meal that takes about 5 hours. We all happy here. Andropoulos, age 45, from Hungary. Andrea is a mathematician at Goethe University, New Jersey. He came from Budapest 13 years ago. I had an opportunity to come here for 2 years. After a year, his wife came to join him, and since then, they've had a daughter, so they decided to stay. At first, it was very strange. "Everything is so big here," he says. "I started to feel happy when I bought a car. Now I go everywhere by car. In Hungary, we only use the car at weekends. But here, your car is a part of your life. Nobody works anywhere. How does he find the people?" Very friendly. The first question everybody asks you is, "Where are you from?" People talk to you here. They start conversations. I like the fact that there are people from over the world. What about the way of life? The thing I like best is the independence. Nobody tells me what to do. Here you can do what you want, so you learn to make decisions for yourself. I feel in control. Yuetung, age 31, from Hong Kong. Yuetung is her Chinese name, but in English, she is known as Clara. She came to the US 8 years ago and studied fine art. Now she works on Madison Avenue for a publisher. She married a Vietnamese American 3 years ago, and they live in the Long Island. They don't have any children yet. What does she think of living in New York? It's very similar to Hong Kong. It's a busy city, very exciting, and people work very fast. I like the stores here. They are huge, and it's cheaper than Hong Kong. But you need a car here. In Hong Kong, everyone uses public transportation because it's good and it's cheap. At first, I hated driving here, but it's okay now. What does she like best? The space. Here I live in a house with a yard. In Hong Kong, it is so crowded, and the people are friendly. When I go jogging, everyone says hi, and the food is from every country in the world. A tale of to millionaires. Milton Berry. Every morning, billionaire Milton Berry worked from his New York apartment and bought a newspaper from a ragged old man on the street corner. One morning, the man wasn't there. Berry learned that he was very ill and was in the city hospital. Immediately, Berry went to the hospital and paid for the old man's medical bills. Later, when the old man died, Berry also paid for his funeral. The old man was just one of many people that Milton Berry helped with his money. Whenever he read about personal disasters in the newspaper, Berry sent generous checks, especially to the families of police officers or firefighters injured at work. He also sent checks to a mother who lost 5 children in a fire, and a beautiful mother whose face was cut in a knife attack. It cost him millions of dollars, but he still had millions left. He said that he was lucky in business and he wanted to help those less fortunate than himself. The nice thing is, the harder I work, the more money I can make, and the more people I can help. Milton Berry died in 1994 when he was 92. His will was 120 pages long because he left 150 million US dollars to 383 people. His widow, Carol, his fourth and last wife, said his generosity was a result of the poverty of his early years. His family was poor but kind-hearted. His father was a Russian immigrant who became a police officer, but he never arrested anyone because he was too kind. He couldn't even give out a parking ticket. Hetty Green. Henrietta or Hetty Green was a very spoiled only child. She was born in Massachusetts in 1835. Her father was a millionaire businessman. Her mother was often ill, so from the age of 2, her father took her with him to work and taught her about stocks and bonds. At the age of 6, she started reading the daily financial newspapers and she opened her own bank account. Her father died when she was 21, and she inherited 7.5 million US dollars. She went to New York and invested on Wall Street. Hetty saved every penny, even eating dinner in the cheapest restaurants she could find. She became one of the richest and most hated women in the world. She was called the Witch of Wall Street. At 33, she married Edward Green, a multi-billionaire, and had 2 children, Ned and Sylvia. Hetty's stinginess was legendary. She always argued about prices in stores. She walked to the local grocery store to buy broken cookies that were much cheaper and to get a free pawn for her much-loved dog, Dewey. Once she lost a 2-cent stamp and spent the whole night looking for it. She hardly ever bought new clothes and often wore the same long ragged black skirt. Worst of all, when her son, Ned, fell and injured his knee, she refused to pay for her daughter and spent hours looking for free medical help. In the end, Ned's leg was amputated. When she died in 1916, she left her children $100 million, worth $9.3 billion today. Her daughter built a hospital with her money. Thank you and sleep well.